everyone. It's me. I'm trying to look at my diary. Am I in the right place? Oh, I think so. I'm on Reading with Joan. Oh, yes. I love that program.
Start again.
What have I started? I'm just trying to introduce myself. Oh, guys, just messed up the whole thing. Oh,
You're
no.
looking at your diary.
Yes, I'm looking at my diary, trying to see where I am. Yes, I'm with Reading with Joan. Hey, kids, we're here. And we just gonna say hello.
Hello.
Anyway, I'm Joan, and I have
Jemima. Jedidah.
what are they feeling like?
Jedidah and Jemima.
I have the J girls with me today, and we are on Reading with Joan. Today I have my fantastic Thursday crew, Ayo and Chimdi, and they'll continue to read their books. I've missed their books since last week, and I hope that we will just enjoy their books as they read for us today. And so I'm going to put Ayo on board, and let's go, Ayo. Ayo, not Ayo. Ayo. Unmute yourself.
I am going to be carrying on with Cold Case Christianity for Kids. Continuing Chapter 3. See the difference? Asked Jeffries, scanning the cadets for responses. You speak up. Can we talk a little more about the Jesus case? I was thinking about God and miracles this week. It seems to me that if God is real, then miracles can happen. I get that, but how are we supposed to collect evidence about God, even indirect evidence? He's invisible. Jeffrey smiles at you, and you see his top row of teeth, which aren't exactly straight, but still he smiled. He replies that this is a perfect example for this week's lesson. Indirect evidence can be powerful, and we do have indirect evidence for God. A lot of it, actually. Everyone is paying attention now. Where? Asked Daniel. What kind of indirect evidence? Jeffries walks up to the board. Let's make a circumstantial evidence diagram as we list the evidence for God. He starts to draw. You lean over and whisper to Daniel and say, I didn't realize detectives have to be artists. Jeffries overhears you, smiles and jokes. Better to be an artist than a con artist. Everyone laughs. Jeffries continues drawing and says, this won't be difficult to sketch out. First, we're in a universe that began to exist, just like we talked about before. What made it begin? Whatever it is, it would have to be something outside of space, time, and matter. We know that God fits that description. Jeffries draws a set of falling dominoes on the board as a symbol of a universe that starts to exist, like a row of dominoes that start to fall when the first one is pushed. He continues, next, scientists tell us that the universe is incredibly fine-tuned for the existence of life. The laws of nature and physics are amazingly delicate. Scientists have no idea why this is the case, unless, of course, the universe was designed for a purpose, to be the home for human beings like you and me. It seems reasonable that God would design in this way if he created us like a loving father. Jeffries draws a designer's compass on the board as a symbol of the fine-tuning of the universe. There's more. Scientists also see signs of design in biology. Your body is incredibly designed, and you even have information in your body called DNA. Jeffries draws a DNA molecule. The DNA molecule is an instruction manual for your body. It contains more information than all the books in your school library, and information is a sure sign of intelligence. Jeffries picks up the skateboard. On the bottom of the board, he finds a small stamped set of words. Take a look at these three words, he says, showing them to the cadets. How do you think they got there? Hannah raises her hand. That's easy. Somebody put them there. Probably the company that made the board. Couldn't they have just landed here by accident? Asks Jeffries. Doesn't seem likely, answers Hannah. I agree, replies the detective. In fact, information like this sentence always comes from intelligence. You can't get this simple sentence from chance or the laws of physics. When you see information, you know it was caused by intelligence. In this case, the people who made this board. He points to the DNA molecule on the whiteboard. The information in this molecule is billions of times more complex than the sentence on the bottom of the skateboard. Whatever creates the information in the DNA would have to be a lot smarter. If there is a God, he would be the most intelligent being ever, right? He could easily create the information and design we see in our DNA. Jeffrey says as he draws a microscope as a symbol of the design we see in biology. He sees the cadets, and some look like they're ready to head out for the day. But he motions their attention back to him. One more thought for today. As a police officer, I know it's never okay to steal something for the fun of it. Where does that kind of moral truth come from? Is it just a matter of opinion? Does it come from the state where we live? Yes, I think so, answers Hannah. Jeffries asks another question. What if the state didn't have a law about stealing? Would that make it okay to steal? The cadets talk about it, and they agree it would never be okay to steal, even if there weren't a law against it. All right, then, continues Jeffries. The truth about stealing seems to come from something other than a personal opinion or the state where I work. It's bigger than all of us. God is bigger than all of us. So God is the better explanation for the source of truth about stealing. He draws two tablets on the whiteboard symbolizing the Ten Commandments of God. Jeffrey's Detective Jeffrey's diagram is now complete. Take a look at this circumstantial case for God. Four very different pieces of evidence all point to the same conclusion. God is the best explanation for all this evidence. The cadets look around at one another and consider what Detective Jeffries has just said.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. And let's bring everybody back. That was interesting reading today, talking about DNA, talking about our moral compass. Where does our truth come from? And we heard about talking about how complex our DNA is and where does your root of truth come from. We would love our viewers to comment on our questions. Where do your truths come from? Where do you think your DNA? Why is it so complex? Do you think there's an intelligent design behind your DNA? And what about lying and stealing? Do you have any consciousness or something? And where does the consciousness come from? What decides for you what is truth or what is wrong or what is bad? Interesting topics and observations from Aya's reading. Thank you. And I do you have any question?
Yes. So the first one is,
Okay, what's your question?
what did Detective Jeffries draw as a symbol of the start of existence?
We didn't hear that properly. I had detective, I had existent, I had draw. So please, can you take that again?
So what did Jeffries draw as a symbol of the universe that begins?
What did the detective draw as a symbol of the universe?
That's
Jackie.
yes.
Okay, so what's the answer? What did he draw?
I think it was. Yeah.
Do you know? What did he draw as a symbol of the universe? Just on Zoom? No. Okay. Jed, do you know? Jamie? Jamie says it's DNA.
No.
Cindy, is that? What do you think? Cindy, what did you draw? Don't know. Okay. So, Ayo, please can you tell us the answer?
So a set of falling dominoes.
We can't hear you.
A set of falling dominoes.
A set of falling dominoes.
Where did this police get all his artistic skills?
Where did it? Excuse me? Anybody can be an artist. I can be a medical doctor and have artistic skill. That's just another property I have. Just like somebody can be a neurosurgeon and play the violin. Hmm?
It was a joke.
Oh, it's a joke. Oh gosh. She got me there. Oh.
I've got one question.
Yeah, okay, another question.
So when Detective Jeffrey said, couldn't the words on the skateboards couldn't the words on the skateboards could have just landed there by accident? What did Hannah say?
That's easy.
What did Anna say?
That's easy.
Is that what she said?
Said something like that. That's easy. Somebody put them there. I give Jed the credit, but that's easy though.
Okay, that's easy. Somebody put them there.
No, that was before. So it was on the other question. So it's this one. It doesn't seem likely.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Okay, your questions were good.
Answer for another question.
Pardon?
That was the right answer for another question.
Okay, we'll take another question next time because we are running out of time right now. And so we'll leave the stage so Jamie can play. And once Jamie finishes playing, oh no, let's Cindy read. When she finishes reading and we talk, then you play. Okay. Cindy, it's your turn.
So, I will continue reading the story of Lulu and the rabbit next door. I will be starting from the bit where Lulu thought Thumper was to have a birthday party. We'll go and fetch them, said Millie, and you could rabbit nap George for the party, and I'll really put Arthur in the shed. That'll teach him what it's like to be kept in a hutch when you're supposed to be at a party. Lulu, what about Thumper's birthday present? Arthur had avoided the presents problem by going back to bed with his Xbox. When his mum came to see where he was, she found him surrounded by banana skins and biscuit wrappers, hacking up Star Wars enemies with his lightsabers. He said, "If anyone comes to call for me, will you tell them I'm not very well?" "Are you not very well?" asked his mother, looking crossly at the banana skins and the other mess. "Well, will you tell them I'm busy?" said Arthur, stopping things very quickly and not looking up to her. "Too busy to do anything?" "Too busy?" asked his mum. "Yes," said Arthur, turning up the volume on his game up quite a lot. "For goodness sake," exclaimed his mum, "turn that down." "What?" "Turn it down. In fact, Turn the silly thing off and get out of bed. It's nearly lunchtime, and you can tidy up all this mess and go outside and clean that rabbit. I will later. Arthur's mother did the thing she sometimes did. She box plug, then she stepped over a banana skin and marched out of the room looking scary, but very slowly. He more carefully than he had ever cleared it in his and was there. Not
Okay, we kind of have a freeze there, Chimdi. Are you okay? Your screen is freezing.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay, so we'll go out again. All right. Okay.
Outside, he felt a little bit better. Lulu and Sally were not about, and George was very pleased to see him. Yes, but what about his party? Arthur asked him as he dumped him on the ground. George skipped about in a sort of partyish way. We've got to take a present, Arthur reminded him. George stopped skipping and looked up at Arthur. A look that said, well, where's the present? I haven't got one and I can't think of one, said Arthur. Arthur looked like a rabbit who was trying to think. Don't say carrots, because I expect he's got millions in Arthur. Don't say cabbages either, or things to chew. Or carrot mobiles, or puzzles, or nooses for the game. Lulu thought of all those things already. George picked up a stray strand of hay and nibbled. Or hay, said Arthur. Plenty of hay. Then George did something so amazing, so clever, so just right that at first Arthur could only stare. And then he ran inside and dragged his mother into the garden. All of the words he gabbled out the stories of Thumper and George, and the messages, and the parcels, and the party invitation, and finally the terrible birthday present problem that had sent him back to bed. And then he said, "Look at George! Look at George! Look at George!" But Arthur's mother wasn't looking at George. Then she and Arthur and George got as well all became terribly busy. It was a wonderful party. George won first rabbit upstairs. Hide and seek in Lulu's bedroom turned into the great escape from Lulu's bedroom, and then hide and seek all over the house. Musical radishes did not work well, because all the players took no notice of the music and insisted on eating the radishes instead of running round them. The big Sig emptied the sandpit. George won that game too. Lulu looked at Thumper to see if he minded losing twice at his own birthday party. He and George were busy washing each other's sandy faces. It was easy to see that Thumper did not mind a bit. Salad and biscuits and carrot cake made a perfect birthday tea. Everyone helped blow out the candles on the carrot cake, and everyone made a wish. Lulu forgot about the dog talent show, and Melly did not remind her. And then it was time for Thumper to have his birthday present. Lulu's mother gave him a Weetabix. Lulu gave him a large red rose. Thumper loved red roses very much. He gobbled them up much faster than all the other colors. Melly's present was a picture of his friend George drawn with chalk on the wall of his hutch. But Arthur and George's present was huge and beautiful. A flower pot tied with a yellow ribbon and planted full of dandelions. Dandelions! Exclaimed Lulu and Melly and Lulu's mother. What a perfect present! Arthur smirked. He knew it was a perfect present. He had known for hours. George thought of it, he told everyone. He thought of it and he dug up the dandelions, and then he helped me and Mum find loads more. I dug them up and Mum planted them. She tied on that ribbon too. You can take it off if you like, but it was all George's idea first. George is clever, said Melly. Thumper is too. Think of all the letters he wrote. She paused and looked at Arthur under her eyelashes, but Arthur only grinned and did not protest. But George is very clever. He must have noticed Thumper didn't have dandelions when he stayed here that week, and he remembered all that time. Arthur looked proudly at George, who was sharing Thumper's rose. Then he went on to tell Lulu and Melly more interesting things about his rabbit. How he not only knew his name, but Thumper's name too, and he would gaze at the direction of Thumper's house whenever he heard it. How he had begun to dig a burrow. How after the dandelions had been planted, they both had gone inside to wash the mud off before the party, and how George had jumped on Arthur's bed. So I thought I'd show him my Xbox, said Arthur, and he loved it, especially Star Wars. I'm going to start again at the first level so he can follow it properly. Lucky George, said Melly enviously. You can come too, offered Arthur. All of us, Thumper as well, asked Lulu. If you like, said Arthur. Lulu and Melly looked at each other, and then they looked at Arthur. They looked at him as proudly as he had looked at George. George did not notice. He was lying on his stomach on Lulu's bedroom floor. Rabbits were climbing on him. He was eating dandelions. Lulu wished she could say something to show how pleased she was. How quickly he had changed, how nice he had turned out to be, but she could not think of anything until Arthur spoke himself. One day, said Arthur, when it's George's birthday, could Thumper come for a sleepover? I'd look after him. Would you let him? Then Lulu knew what to say. Course I would, said Lulu. And that's the end of the whole book.
Okay.
Oh, good. Lovely party today. I was expecting the radish and the carrots and the... They forgot everything. All their plants last week. The dandelions and everything. They forgot all their plants. Oh,
and
no.
George remembered.
George remembered, but they didn't eventually do it. Okay, that's about... I really love Lulu and the rabbit next door. So what's the question you have for the girls today?
Mention one of the games that they played at the party.
One of the games they played at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Hide and seek, which turned into then they went outside and turned into hide and seek in the whole house. No, the Great Escape in Lulu's room. And then it turned into hide and seek in the whole house.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, good, great.
Another one if no one else has.
What?
Anyone else? Before I say.
No, that's the answer.
Musical radishes.
Musical radishes. Do you have any other question before she goes?
What was the flavor of the cake that they baked?
Oh, I know it. It's never had it to say. Oh, I wanted to say one answer in the book, and I knew that one. Oh yeah, I got it for you, right?
You got a point if you can tell me the title of my song today.
Let's go! Okay, let's go so that she can play her song. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I am going to play Lucy Jones. Hold on a second.
Come on, play what you have to play. Hey, well done. So that's Little John. Look at how she's shining at it. Okay, on this note, we would say thank you for joining us. We really had fun reading with you. And where's she coming from? Ah! Ah! And so we would want to bring all the kids back and say thank you, Chimdi. Thank you, Ayo. We enjoyed your company today. Thank you, Precious. Thank you for the kids at home. And thank you for my co-host, Cindy. We really enjoyed your book. I hope next week you're coming up with a super book, interesting one.
Thank you, Mother Joan.
Excuse me. I have to go. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.